Hello, hello, my lovely Legalians. Okay, so I started this game at the loading screen to explain things and how I'm going to as jungler win the game for my team. Okay, so Nasus, he needs farm. I'm not gonna worry about him top. We actually have a cannon going mid, and then we have Morgana and Ashe in the bottom lane. I don't think Ashe is in the meta right now. I think ADC down here is in the meta. So the person I'm going to be concentrating on is going to be the cannon and getting him ahead. That's right. Because there's no point in getting there's no point in machete health pots and a totem. There's no point in getting trying to get the Nasus ahead because he doesn't do anything. Not early game anyway. There are some complications with the fact that yeah, we shouldn't invade because they've got Lux and Lux can bind. Bran can also do a lot of AoE. Sivir can also throw out her little disc. So that's one of the reasons why that's a bad idea. One of the many reasons why invading is a bad idea. I understand we have a Morgana. There you go. Just love people at this elo. Alright, so this is my boy right here. This guy right here, he's gonna be getting ahead. Alright. Oh, look. You're screwed, Morgana. Oh, you blew your flash, too. Oh, isn't this a lovely start, everybody? Yeah, I mean, if they want to continue doing this, that's fine because Lux is just missing a lot of farm. I'm gonna be behind in my jungling duties, so. So did anyone get my red? Didn't seem like it. So I mean, the start was rough, but I think it's better for us because of the Nasus in the top lane. Because he will continue becoming, he will continue being a monster. They're gonna throw this over in case the Rammus gets any ideas. And we're gonna start. Pull this over. Looking for 390. Alright. Now what's an unfortunate effect of I feel like I should help the cannon ward really pushed up. Other than that really crazy beginning. I think we'll be alright. My blue stolen? Oh, of course it is. Hey, my boy. Now, I'm gonna scope things out. I mean, Nasus, there's really no point in going after Nar, but just gonna keep him. Yeah, there's no point. Alright. There's no point going after Nar. Especially now that he sees me. Alright, so we're gonna get that lovely item. And we're gonna be warding up this game. We're gonna indicate to Kennen that Lux is coming back to lane. Alright, screwed that up. There we go. Man. All right, so far it's a rough game, but we have the late game and no farm. Wow. So so now you can kind of see like what became of I don't want this cannon. Alright. So when Morgana and them went stood in that brush earlier, things could have went much differently, but at the same time, I think bot lane would have been better. Not too sure. Okay. We're gonna get some of that. Some of that. Oh, Morgana. That was rough, but you're dead. Oh, thanks, Ash. Gnosis is dead. Let's see if Kennen can pick up some kills here. There we go. All right, my buddy. My buddy. Kennen, my man. Right. You missed your CS, Kennen. Oh yeah, Kennen, my man. We're just kind of pinging, letting everyone know that they are bound to get collapsed upon. And ward things up. All right. That was an interesting flank coming from the brand. I don't think that's gonna go in their favor as the game progresses. Still got plenty of time on let's see if Kennen wants this. All right. Alright, so we're gonna mark tell Gnosis to be careful. Oh, Kennen, my man! He can't be stopped! Hey, your boy. uh, Scan that area. Throw a ward over. Hop over. Throw a ward over. Take this guy out. Now get some farm. So at this stage in the game, it's pretty much like easy peasy mode now. The Gnosis is just going to continue getting stronger. They're gonna go after this guy. The Rift Herald. Okay, so after we got that item, we're gonna be going for some of this action because of the brand. And we're gonna take that back and get one of those. Oh boy! Oh ho ho! Oh! Wow! That's a big one, boys. That was a big fight. Alright, I'll let her go. Gonna take it. Throw a deep forward over here. Alright, so they kind of screwed up there. They didn't need to die. But it's fine because we're late game. Oh, oh, oh. Is the Lux gonna get him? Gonna scan the area. No wards. Awesome. We're gonna see if we can get Scuttles up here for a little ward control. Alright, we're gonna come up here and save the tower. That's what Vi does. Gonna wait a bit. Hey. It's gonna let him mop that up. Okay. Now they've already got the area. I have a tough time getting out. All right. Alright, that dragon's gonna cost them. Take some farm. We're gonna push this into tower. I'm gonna take this tower out. You can actually position your E, or yeah, get some extra. And there you go, there's a tower. Alright, we're gonna rotate over to the Baron area. At this point we're going to, we won't finish this just yet. We're gonna get some of that and that to survive. Sell that. Survive the Baron. We're gonna wait a little more gold. And then head up to Baron. $20 more gold! 10 more gold! Alright. Get out. Alright, Gnosis is doing, like, a great job here. Alright, we're looking at 860. Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna go top. I've already purchased items. So when you have Baron, it's good to push separate lanes. I'm not gonna fast push here. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit because I'm seeing people down here. Alright, I'm gonna lead these right to the base. Ugh. That is so not fair. Flashed for me. Oh, they've got, okay, they've got that. There we go. Yeah, 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 get him, get him. I love you guys. I love you, team. Yeah, that's what you get using your, Alright, so we're gonna go for that item. That's what you get for using your flash on me. Oh, Morgana's dead. Alright, so dragon is up in 10 seconds. We're not going to be able to get it. Can ward up the area though. Yeah. Can kind of block them off here. Let's see if their blue's up. Nope. Alright, so we're going back down. So they're mounting a decent defense, but we still should have the late game advantage here. We just have to play it by the numbers. Wait for my guys here. Okay, Lux is just gonna chill. Chill while her base gets destroyed. I'm just fine with that, Lux. You can concentrate on me. All right. Let's see if I can get some farm. Got Baron in about a minute. I'll take this blue buff whenever it gets up. Alright, Morgana, you might be dead. Alright, Baron, here we come. So, unless the enemy team just makes some miraculous play, I think we'll be alright. Alright, so let's get some of that action, some of that, upgrade that. Right. So Baron is pretty much what we have to keep the prize on. Keep that. Keep your eyes on, that is. Ah. We're just kind of letting these Ah, gotcha, buddy. Hey! Hey, ya boy. Alright, so we don't need to hit 2 inhibitors. Well, I guess we do need to hit 2 inhibitors because we don't have any waves. Reward there. Reward there. We're gonna queue over. Alright, looking at 800. Alright, getting out. Alright, so we're going to go for... What was I going for? Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Okay. So that was, that could have been their only chance. Reward over. We'll just make the safe plays here. Okay. Hey. All right. So there you go. There's late game. Late game for this team anyway. All right. That was interesting. I didn't even press anything. Okay. So I think this guy, he's the man. Hey, 8, 2, and 5. That's not too bad. All right, we're gonna wrap this up. So as far as itemization goes, this is great for some survivability versus the Lux. Lux was definitely doing some damage, worth noting. But my main items have to do with their AD, which is Randuin's Omen and Enchantment Warrior. And then finally, you've got Ninja Tabe, which is going to ignore some basic, or it's going to block 10% of the basic attacks. You have Morgana. She's gone full support Morgana. You can go full AP Morgana, but this is more versatile, meaning that you're going to get, you have more options, you have more survivability with this. With offense, with full AP Morgana, there's just less things you can do. You'll do more damage, but less versatility. And finally, Kennen looks like he's almost got full build Kennen. He's even got a little MR. He's got survivability with Leandri's Torment. And then finally, he's our Zanya's Hourglass, which is a little more... so he's He's pretty safe. He's pretty safe, and with his 15, 4, and 7, it's fair to say that he was quite impactful in the early to mid game, which I knew if I knew he would be if he got the chance, you know, because he can speed up, he can slow people down, and he can just burst people with his ultimate, and you can't get out of it in any other way, unless of course if you're Lux, you got your bind ready to stop him. That's the only way. Then finally, our Ash, you've got your critical hit set up. You've got your rapid fire cannon for some extra damage, a little burst damage. And it looks like she was going for a blood razor. One of these guys, bloodthirster, blood something. Finally got Gnosis going full tank. There are some Gnosises out there that will go AP Gnosis. This is not the Gnosis that you want. And then finally you've got Gnar, which I think Gnar is supposed to counter Gnosis, so I guess he didn't understand how to play. But then maybe he didn't know how to direct the waves, but that's a little goofy. That if that was so, like, how is that possible? How did you get this good? How did you get into gold? Then you've got the Rammus, which surprised me with that flash, but I think him flashing like that was a mistake to get me up top, because then he burned his flash. He could have used that flash in a team fight. Instead, he used it on me. I'll take it. You've got the Sivir. Now, Sivir is like a late game, and she does a lot of damage, but she also has her ultimate that really makes things tough. You know, they will follow up, but I feel like Sivir is really meant towards more of a tanky composition. I mean, Gnar and Rammus are pretty tanky, so that's all right. But I feel like what am I talking about? The brand is taken away from their team comp. They should have someone that can be up and close and personal, and Sivir can close the gap with her ultimate. And then so you have standards, pretty much the standard stuff that Ashe has with the Infinity Edge, your critical hit build, which is fine, with some bursty damage, extra bursty damage from Static Shiv. Instead, she got Runaan's Hurricane. It's gonna add a little more let's see, yeah, it gives you some extra clear ability with units. You're gonna attack more units in a certain range. Brand, pretty much with Brand, you want to build Leandri's Torment with some survivability. It looks like he went with more like an Omicron, and that's fine, because Gnosis is one of those characters that if he continues to live, he's going to keep healing. So I think that is a necessary item, but he much rather prefer to get Leandri's Torment for some survivability and some of that damage that Brand loves to bring to the table. And then finally, Lux. Lux actually has some survivability with Rod of Ages, so her damage spike is missing, and that's more to the point of the Kennen being able to dominate Lux in lane. And another reason why I chose to, well, I kind of forget how impactful I was in the mid lane. Maybe I wasn't very impactful. I probably wasn't. But the reason why I chose mid lane is what I'm talking about. The reason why I chose mid lane was I knew that was the lane to pay attention to, because with Gnosis, if you get a kill for him, that's great and all, but he's still not going to be useful. Gnar is still going to be able to kill Gnosis, and there you go. So Gnosis is better by himself, by him lonesome, farming into the late game. So that's pretty much how that matchup works. And why I picked Vi this game That has to do with I was one of the earlier picks, and the top jungler didn't show who he was. So whenever you have like first pick, I think it is. I think the percentage, and so let's say you have first pick, and none of your guys show themselves as far as what they want to play, what top laner wants to go, what bottom wants to go, whatever. You don't know what anyone's going to be. I would say that your best bet is to get a champion that can affect the early game first, if nobody's revealing who they're playing with. And so in a lot of cases, the jungler that affects the early game wins the game for the most part. I think I think statistically, I would say that in all the games that I've played, that is a statistic that is a really strong, because without when you're in the early game, and without that without your inner turrets and your outer turrets, your map is really vulnerable, and there's only so many places you can ward, and it leaves Baron to be got. Twice we got Baron fairly uncontested. Rammus tried to get in there and steal, but yeah, we came away with a win there. So as far as jungling goes, you want to a couple of last minute tips. As far as jungling goes, if you have first pick, or you just don't know who bot lane is, top lane, you want to choose an powerful early game champion. And then there's other things, like if top lane is going a something certain, and then bot lane is going something, you can think about how to pick your champion, being a little more objective heavy, a little more support heavy, or just a late game comp in general. But for the most part, at this elo, picking a champion that can affect the early game is the safe pick. Now, in other cases, like let's say the enemy team chooses a champion that affects the early game. So now you're in a situation where there's some dueling going on, and there's other options available to you depending on how you want to play, how you feel about your lanes. So I'll give you an example. If the top laner is super tanky and will go late game, the bottom, their late game as well, it could be prudent to get a champion that supports the late game, because if you have a champion that is affecting the early game, and your guys aren't getting any stronger until the late game, it can be a little frustrating if you're trying to get your guys ahead and they're just not that strong. But again, if you get an early game champion, you still can delay the enemy until the late game. So that's why going an early game powerhouse champion is so like, hey, like so it's so important, especially at this elo. I mean, although you just keep going up the elo, and more times you're gonna find that the game is gonna go in the favor of the jungler that has making those early plays, has that early power spike. Okay, so that's kind of what I've realized over the course of a couple of games, and I will check you guys out later. Hope you guys enjoyed, maybe learned something. Yeah. So I'll see you guys later. Hi-yo.